Mr. McMillan, do you need a minute?
Oh my God.
Just take your time. So when you're ready.
We'll just give you a moment, Mr. McMillan. I'm not sure if there's water for you as well. Oh, if you need a break to get some water, let me know, and we can take a break.
Obviously, very difficult moment inside that courtroom. Difficult outside that courtroom, frankly, difficult to watch it, even from this seat. That video showing the distress that George Floyd was in as he was being put into that police cruiser. And that right there is a man named Charles McMillan, who's an eyewitness who was trying to have a conversation with George Floyd to tell him to just accept it, to get into the car. He can't win. You heard it there on that tape. And then you see at the end of that video where they cut, that's when George Floyd was taken back out of the car. And that's when you saw Derek Chauvin's knee saying repeatedly, "Mama, mama, mama," and saying, "I can't breathe," in a way that, frankly, I just don't think we've seen before in such dramatic detail. Back with us now is Georgetown law professor and former federal prosecutor Paul Butler. Paul, I'm going to hand it over to you because, boy, that was hard to watch.
It never gets easier to watch that video. So the prosecutors want to rebut the defense that the force that Officer Chauvin used was reasonable because George Floyd was resisting arrest. Mr. Floyd says that he's claustrophobic. And so the prosecutors want the jurors to understand that Mr. Floyd was traumatized about getting into the squad car, not because he was uncooperative, but because he had claustrophobia, and he also had experienced trauma from previous encounters with cops where they pointed a gun at him. And so I think that this witness has been effective at communicating those points. And Katie, if I may, just a quick shout out to this prosecutor. She's the first lawyer we've heard from who sounds like a human being and not a robot. So she's easy to listen to. She relaxes the witness. This is the first lawyer we've heard from in this case who I would tell my law students to look to as an example of how to try a case.
When a witness like this breaks down like that on stand, what does it mean for the case? What does it signal to the jury?
Every eyewitness to Mr. Floyd's death has experienced trauma. By my count, this is the fourth or fifth witness who has broken down on the stand, who has cried. And so this is emotional. I just accuse lawyers of sometimes sounding like robots, so this will sound a little bit unfeeling. But the prosecutors don't mind this at all. This is good for the state's case because, A, it suggests how high the stakes are. Mr. Floyd was a human being.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.